You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
With your host, Beto Barragan.
And we all know that when the good Lord created man, he meant for him to look just like me.
And Alex Lewicki.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
The podcast made by fans for wrestling fans.
One sweet, one sweet, one sweet, one sweet.
You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. All right, episode 9 of One Sweet Wrestling Podcast is here, and of course, I am your host, Beto Barragan, and with me is the one and only
Alex Lewicki.
What's going on, dude?
Not much, man. How's your day going?
Oh, it's been a long week. I am ready for our event tomorrow at El Luchador.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a real good time.
Yeah, I just want to say, first off, for everyone listening right now, thank you very much for listening to us. We are one of many wrestling podcasts out there, and I don't know, I just kind of want to say thank you to everybody.
No, for sure. If you've been a dedicated follower, thanks, guys. Really, it means a lot. This is a labor of love for us at this point.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's appropriate, though, for this labor of love to go into a flavor of love. I'm kidding. That was bad. That was a bad joke. But let's just start it off with the headlines.
Vince McMahon held a conference call today about the return of XFL. A couple notes that I got from it. It's not going to be happening until 2020. Vince McMahon himself will have no creative control of the XFL. He's not giving up anything of the WWE, so he's still going to be in charge come 2020. He did mention that there's not going to be any kind of crossover talent from the WWE to the XFL. This is going to be kind of its own primary independent.
Like an independent company.
Exactly, yeah. I guess that's why they turned it into Alpha Entertainment as opposed to WWE Entertainment. They're branching this off into something completely different, to where we might not even see anything WWE related. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So far, no cities have been announced. They're looking to start a January or February start date of 2020. Not really sure how long the season's going to go. He really emphasized the fact that it's going to be a safer version of football. He didn't really get into the specifics of it. He's going to be talking to a lot of professionals, and he said the best in their field with medical, with football. He's really pushing for the fans to get their voices out there and let him know what they're looking for.
That's interesting.
He did say something very interesting.
Okay.
He said there's not going to be anything with politics or any type of social issues. So what that tells me is he's trying to distance himself from the kneeling, from the national anthem, but he also did say that he believes that people should stand for the national anthem. I'm paraphrasing here, so if Vince is listening, I'm sorry, but he did say that, he does believe that the traditional way of standing for the national anthem. So we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm not too excited about the XFL as it is. The NFL is kind of dull to watch it sometimes. I enjoy football. I used to love it a lot more, but lately it's just been kind of boring, and I don't really see what's going to happen in the next 2 years to really make me more excited for the XFL.
That's interesting. I was listening to it too, and just some highlights from it. I didn't really listen to the whole thing, but from what I understand is the concept, from what I remember from the XFL, was a lot more gimmicky back then, and it seems like what they
had no
want to do.
kickoffs.
Yeah, it was like a scramble or something like that, right?
They also said the reason why everything was kind of put together was really because it was put together. They only had a year to get everything ready, whereas this, they have a full 2 years to get everything set up, get it situated, figure out the cities, figure out the rules, figure out what they're going to be doing with this. So, it
may be planned out a little bit better.
It should be. It really should be.
I'm going to say that I'm excited in the sense of what are they going to do with this? I think that's kind of where I'm at. Is like I was there, not there, but I was a viewer of like the first game.
The Outlaws.
Yep. Was it Nevada or Las Vegas Outlaws or something?
Las Vegas Outlaws, yeah.
Yeah, and he hate me. I remember all that. It's going to be very interesting to see if this is going to be a different avenue for college players to maybe use this as a stepping stone to the NFL.
My thing is, it sounds a lot like what Lonzo Ball was trying to do with basketball. He wants to start his own league where people who don't necessarily want to go to college to get to the NBA. So he's going to get people that are already who they think are good enough
right.
to jump into a professional sports league.
See, I think if you're going to go about doing a different league altogether, why not pick from the NFL of the guys who don't make the cut? I mean, you're still going to have a quality of play that's going to be there, and you're still going to have that NFL style of play, but it might change. They might change some things up.
This is what I thought about. Vince McMahon is falling into some type of territory where, I'm going to bring this back to wrestling.
Sure.
He's essentially making himself an indie wrestling.
Yeah.
The XFL is the minor leagues to the NFL. Whereas you look at ROH, New Japan, and all indie promotions in the United States and throughout the world, they all, for all due respect to all of them, they are looked at as beneath the WWE. The WWE
the
is
D-League.
Yeah.
Right?
It's always said the WWE is the place to be. Well, the NFL for any football player is the place to be unless you make it so lucrative for them to make it to the XFL.
Right.
The NFL is always going to be the place to go.
Right.
You're not going to spend your prime years.
The XFL or the NFL?
If I'm a football player,
right,
you can't tell me, hey, I don't want you to play for the Dallas Cowboys. I want you to play for the, whatever
Las Vegas Outlaws.
Yeah, let's use them for an example. Yeah. What type of money am I going to make?
Oh, that's true. That's a big factor
for something that's already folded once.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've read before is that the NBA champions make as much as the lowest paying team in the NFL. Wow. That's the NBA. That's a whole different organization, but the NBA has been around for forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting where they go from here. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in 2 years?
Yeah. And, we're not a sports podcast.
Yeah.
We're a wrestling podcast. This is just our opinion. But what we do know is that Raw 25 happened this past Monday.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
Okay. So there's a lot of ground to cover. I'm going to try to just condense it.
Well, give me what you liked.
Okay. What I liked about the Monday Night Raw, the 25th anniversary, I liked the Manhattan Center.
It looked awesome.
It looked great.
Dude, they had an Ico Pro.
Yeah.
A banner.
Yeah. That was so old school. Like, it just looked perfect.
If anybody's listening and can get me an Ico Pro t-shirt, hit me up, please.
Yeah.
Anything.
Check us out on Instagram at @onesweetwrestlingpodcast. Hit us up. Let Alex know where he can get a shirt. Something. Get the boy something.
So I digress. What did you like?
Well, I liked the Manhattan Center setup. I did like excuse me, I'm sorry. I did like seeing The Undertaker. Even though it was kind of weird for me to see The Undertaker without like the
pomp and circumstance.
Right.
I
did enjoy it. It was nice to see The Undertaker. I did like and I think we discussed it the last episode, the passing of the torch from DX to the Balor Club.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. The matches in the excuse me, I got like a frog in my throat. Ribbit. The matches in the Manhattan Center. Well, okay, things I liked. That was probably about it. I'm not sure if I liked the entire show. I did appreciate it. And let me just say it this way, or put it this way. I had the best seat in the house, being able to sit down and watch it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Free,
technically.
For free. Yeah. I feel like that was, I had the best seat in the house, being able to sit at home and watch it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there were more negatives to take away than the positives. The Stone Cold and Vince interaction money. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
but they shot themselves in the foot. They really started out too strong, and they didn't deliver for the rest of the time.
Yeah, it was kind of like they put all their eggs in one basket,
Yes.
and then after that, it just kind of fizzled out for a little while.
The closest they got as far as a hot pop like they got from Stone Cold and Vince was probably Brother Love.
Oh, okay. That's something that I did want to bring up. So in past episodes of like old school Raw, 15th anniversary, things like that,
Raw 1000.
Raw 1000, they've brought Brother Love onto the show. No pop whatsoever. I remember this because I remember they would announce the legends, and Brother Love would be up there on the stage and go, "I love you," and
Nothing.
No one knew what he was, who he was, what he was talking about. Huge props to Bruce Pritchard, because realistically, as I've said before, there are tons of wrestling podcasts out there. Bruce Pritchard's Something to Wrestle With happens to be the best one. We're in the running. I'm just going to throw that out there. But
Talk
his
that
is
stuff.
I'm just going to have to throw it out there. But his is the best one out there, and people do listen to his podcast, and the pop was tremendous.
Yeah, it was very evident that the people in the Barclays Center were very, very knowledgeable about who Bruce Pritchard was.
They knew who he was.
Not even his character, who he really was.
yeah.
So, yeah, it was really cool to see. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't listen to that podcast. I listen to other wrestling podcasts because, again, there are a ton of them.
Oh, there's a ton of them, yeah.
But that being said, I know of Bruce Pritchard's podcast.
Yeah.
I know
You
Bruce
know
Pritchard.
of it. You know who he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
I
what I mean?
Yeah, Brother
And
Love, all that good stuff.
People did enjoy that. It was kind of weird to see like Harvey Whippleman, and I know what's also funny is that we did kind of we've been discussing that with kind of like the Enzo thing, which we will get to.
Yeah,
hold on,
we're gonna
on
get
to your
to
seats. But yeah, definitely, like it was nice to see Brooklyn Brawler. And I hadn't seen Brooklyn Brawler in a minute. I don't think he's working with the company anymore.
Yeah, a lot of the people that were on that show are actually, for what I can think of, are under contract with other people.
Aren't they?
Jericho, JR is the announcer for
Oh, that was kind of
Access.
cool. That was kind of cool to see JR and King at the Manhattan Center
Yeah.
together.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
I did hear an interview with JR today.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and they asked him about what he liked and what he didn't like. He was saying that he wished that he could have called more matches. That's kind of the consensus I've been hearing, is that it was just too little from the Manhattan Center, not too much. But for the amount of money that people paid for those tickets at the Manhattan Center, almost $1,000,
right? $1,000
for a commemorative chair, basically.
Gosh.
You know, it's great to see DX. It's great to see the Balor Club,
but they got promos. They got mostly nothing but promos. And
If that.
two cruiserweight matches, from what I heard.
The Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Bray
Which, by the
Wyatt.
way, why did they have that as a nothing match?
So, I think that the course of that little rivalry, I think they put them together on that because it's regardless of anything, it's a special show. Now, questionable is the length of the match. There was no the story was there, but it was like a lackluster payoff.
My whole issue is not the match. If you wanted to have it be a blow-off match, promote it. Promote it for the week.
At least that.
And then this is the big issue that I had with The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, their entrances. Not allowing the lights to go down, not allowing for the crowd to get into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
That really takes away what a lot of Bray Wyatt's character is now, is his entrance.
It's smoke and mirrors.
They kind of took that away from him at the Manhattan Center.
Well, if you remember, they did take it away from him at WrestleMania too.
True, but
it's
at WrestleMania. They couldn't really do too much.
I hear what you're saying.
You know, if you're in indoor arena, you can shut the lights out, but you know, you're outside at a.
You have more control.
Exactly.
You have more control over
So
that.
really, it was just.
It was a lackluster show, I think.
It was lackluster, and it was just poor planning. They just should have flipped a lot of stuff.
You couldn't do much with a lot that was going on. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot that was going on. It just seemed like you had to kind of fit everybody in there that was not necessarily announced, but all the legends had to be pushed in there.
I heard a good term for this.
Sure.
They were trying to serve too many masters.
There you go.
They were trying to.
I like that.
They were
Good
trying
word.
to crowbar too much stuff into not enough time. I would have been okay with not seeing Harvey Whippleman, with not seeing the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Cut down the fat. Jonathan Coachman didn't really serve a purpose for me. The whole Kurt Angle thing, the Boogeyman, great to see him, but the gimmick is old.
And I mean, if it serves a purpose, use it. You know, like,
Exactly.
I mean, what were we talking about when we were watching it? We were watching it together, and I said something to the effect of, why isn't MVP walking out with Titus Brand?
They're both from Miami.
It would have been awesome to just have that connection out there. But there was a lot of, I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities that were there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was nice to see the APA playing poker, but I mean, the APA, like, pardon my French, they're known as badasses. And badasses, yes, they do sit on their ass and play cards, but at the same time, they're being badasses.
They're enforcers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's who they were.
One person that was absent from the WWE's Raw 25 who actually was kicked out of the arena
Really?
was Enzo Amore.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He had quite a week.
yeah, it's been quite a week for WWE in general.
Now, we're going to tread very lightly on this subject because
Yes.
it's not something that anybody should take lightly.
Right.
There are accusations by one Enzo Amore, or towards one Enzo Amore, that he sexually assaulted somebody in, allegedly. Let me make this very clear.
Yeah.
There's an alleged
sexual assault
Yes,
occurred, and the rumor and innuendo is that this was something that happened back in October. Enzo was involved with we don't know her name, but there is some speculation that he allegedly sexually assaulted her and drugged her and sexually assaulted her. Now, as far as those allegations, it's very touchy. So really looking at this thing as a whole, and I'm just going to give my speculation as far as this, and I don't want anyone to take this as far as, like, I don't want to don't take it to the bank, what I'm saying, but just think about this, some thought-provoking things. Enzo has already been in hot water with the WWE. He's been kicked out of the locker room, kicked out of the tour bus. He's had some bad reps with the locker room kicked him out because rumor and innuendo is that Enzo was having posses and crews in the backstage area. Those people weren't respecting the other wrestlers or the other talent, and they're going back there marking out and trying to take pictures with people and all that stuff. No one really wants any of that. I think that this may have been the straw that broke the camel's back as far as WWE. There was a lot of stuff going on. Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or was it that Monday?
What's that?
It might have been Monday. Well, there was a lot of things going on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
As far as all
basically
that.
through this whole early part of the week.
Yeah. So basically what a lot of sites are reporting is that Enzo knew about the allegations but didn't come forward and say what was going on. Now, some people have actually, I've spoken with different people on the subject, and people have actually mentioned to me in the sense of, I think that their interpretation is that they feel that Enzo, he came forth and said, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what's going to happen. And these people are going to be saying stuff about me. And the office probably just told him, hey, look, like, we're going to look into this. We're going to let you go for a little while because we don't need that publicity. You need to go figure that out. I mean, apparently Enzo's pretty much up there as far as one of the highest paid wrestlers on the roster, apparently. And I think what they want to do is separate themselves from that for a little while until these allegations are proven false. I mean, I'm a firm believer in innocent until proven guilty. But if there's I mean, there's so much evidence, not even evidence, but there's so much being thrown around as far as this. And
You can't sort through it
You
yet.
can't sort through it. I mean, there is some stuff out there on the internet stating that the girl, actually there's proof or something, that there's a text message that she sent to a friend of hers saying, hey, I'm next to a wrestler.
Yeah,
right
I'm with a
now.
professional wrestler and I can't take the photo because it's too dark.
Right.
Yeah, I
so,
saw that.
I mean, there's a lot going on with this story.
My whole thing is the WWE were put in a real rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
Enzo did the dumb thing by not telling the company that this was out there.
Right.
The WWE, as a company, did the right thing, in my opinion, because they're publicly traded.
Yeah.
They cannot
Exactly.
let one person out of the entire history of the WWE be allowed to bring down the company for something that individual did, not even during a wrestling trip.
Yeah.
I don't believe that there was even anything scheduled out there when he went in Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So, again, a lot of this is hearsay. We
Yeah.
aren't the Wrestling Observer. We can't get our facts from the wrestlers themselves.
Let
but
me
this
tell
is
you
what we're
something,
hearing.
bro. Let me tell you something. Like Hogan. Look at Hulk Hogan. It's not the same thing. It's a similar situation as a company that WWE had to look at and say, hey, look, this is what happened. We have the proof and all that. You gotta go. We can't be associated with you anymore. And that is the hard thing about, especially with a legend like Hulk Hogan, who's drawn so much money for the company. They had to get away from that. I mean, you look at Enzo, and Enzo's a current star right now, and he was supposed to be your chosen one to get the 205 Live out of the gutter. And I mean, he messed up. Let's just say this. At the end of the day, I think everyone can agree that whether he did it, whether he didn't, Enzo messed up. At the end of the day, Enzo messed up.
I agree.
You know, I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't wish any ill will onto any other individual. Now, I'm not a fan of Enzo Amore. I am not the biggest Enzo Amore fan.
But you're not a fan of the character.
But I'm not a fan. Right. I'm not a fan of the character
Not the-
Enzo Amore.
not the person.
Not the person.
Right.
It's kind of like, you know, and I'm going to be candid here, bro. I'm going to shoot. I've been told certain things for my like of Hulk Hogan. I was told something that, you know, how can you support a racist or something like that?
Yeah.
Now, look, to everyone out there, and I think a lot of wrestling fans can agree, you can still like the character, but you got to separate the two.
You have to separate Hulk from Terry.
Exactly. And what Terry had done was a bad thing. He's remorseful of it, so he says. We won't dive into that. But I'm going to say, hey, for as much as that guy has done for the wrestling business, hey, man, like, I'm still a Hulk Hogan fan. I'm not going to lie. As much as, you know, terrible things had happened with Chris Benoit and that travesty, you know, that just terrible tragedy. I can't sit and watch a Chris Benoit match. It's hard for me now, but I recognize that Best of 7 was probably the greatest thing that WCW put on, and that was between him and Booker T. So you can't deny someone's talent. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that. You know, if you look at the body of work and not the person,
right,
it's completely different.
Yeah,
but, I understand that.
You know, hopefully everything gets sorted out with Enzo, and you know, hopefully, you know, they can figure out how to get him back into the business. I mean, the guy loves it. The guy loves the business.
Yeah.
And it would be terrible for someone to lose their job over just some allegations. But again, you know, no way are we condoning that kind of behavior at all. But hopefully everything gets sorted out for the betterment of everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it remains to be seen.
But let's just call this the headlines. Let's just close it out. All right, and we'll give you the 1, 2, 3, and we'll come back with a little bit more on a lighter note. How about that?
Are we talking NXT?
Let's talk NXT Takeover. I think the people deserve it. That's the headlines. If you're looking for a unique, clean, and comfortable shop to get your next tattoo, check out the artists at Galaveras Tattoos. They're located downtown San Antonio at 628 South St. Mary's, just north of Cesar Chavez. Galaveras is home to some of the best, most experienced tattoo artists in San Antonio, and the only shop in town with 4 female artists on staff. Established in 2005, Galaveras Tattoos offers a variety of styles and the highest quality tattoos with a price that won't hurt your budget. So stop by for a consultation or give them a call to schedule one. It's easy. 210-227-7673. That's 210-227-7673. Calaveras Tattoos, San Antonio's favorite tattoo shop. All right, we're back on One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. We're going to go ahead and talk about
Ladies
NXT.
and gentlemen, 1 second. There's something very important that's going on today.
What, Rusev Day?
Well, yeah, that too. But it's a very important birthday today.
Really?
Paul Heyman's
One
birthday
more
today.
Volgy, if I may, sir.
Yeah, it's Paul Heyman's birthday today. We just want to go ahead and wish him a very happy birthday. The creator of ECW, the man that made the Paul Heyman guy t-shirt popular, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, at one time Cesaro.
Yeah.
But congratulations, Paul Heyman. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Paul Heyman. Man, that's so cool.
I digress.
Okay, you gonna let me do this now?
Go for it, dude.
Okay. So we're here with NXT Takeover now. We're gonna talk about the card. I'm just gonna kind of briefly run through this card. Nothing too extravagant.
Yeah, man. Let me know what you're excited for.
So Cassius Ohno versus Velveteen Dream.
Man.
So after we've talked about we hyped this match up between Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream. Okay, Alex is gyrating now.
Dude, this
like
is going to be
Velveteen
amazing.
Dream. I am so excited for this match. I think these two are going to complement each other very well. Cassius Ohno, former Chris Hero, is definitely going to lead Velveteen Dream in this match. I think it's going to be a really technical match, and not in the sense of like technical wrestling and my
In the Dean Malenko sense?
you got me right there,
got
brother.
you.
So it's not going to be anything. It's not going to be a Matt classic, but it definitely will be something that people are going to talk about. It might steal the show.
You know, my whole thing is this is going to be the match for Velveteen Dream. He had a fantastic match against Aleister Black. Now, myself especially, and I'm sure the rest of the wrestling community from the interwebs, they're going to be looking at this as, is he ready? Is he ready to continue with this push? Cassius Ohno, great talent.
Yeah.
I think he's going to definitely help him along, but it's going to be really on Velveteen Dream to make sure that he cements his place in NXT as a future star.
I like that because you can obviously sense how this match looks. Like, I mean, you've got Cassius Ohno, who's pretty much a veteran. They're putting Velveteen Dream against these veterans to make him better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. But it's going to be a good match. Looking forward to Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, baby.
1 second.
Sure.
I'm going to go back. Who do you like in that match?
Oh, Velveteen Dream.
I say Cassius Ohno.
I can see that.
All right.
Okay.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, baby, in an Extreme Rules match. Now, I'm excited to see this because of the names. I do like both wrestlers. I don't like that it's an Extreme Rules match, but I'm okay with it.
As long as they don't overdo it, I think it could be okay.
Well, it's NXT. It's a takeover. They have to overdo it. It's better to overdo it than to undersell it.
But also, it being NXT and also being a takeover, they usually do those very well.
Yeah, they do.
Seen few, if any, bad matches during an NXT takeover.
Is Aleister Black undefeated in NXT?
I don't know that off the top of my head. I think he's probably close, but I haven't watched as many of the weekly shows to really know his record. But I would say if not undefeated, he's probably up there with maybe 2 losses.
Yeah, I'm going to say Adam Cole in this match.
I think so too, only because
you got to build the heel.
That, and I think at this point, Aleister Black might be going up to the main roster soon.
He might make a debut at the Rumble.
That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be really good.
I'd be excited to see that. So the next one you got, well, who do you have in that one?
I think Adam Cole. I think Aleister Black goes out because really, unless Aleister Black at some point is pushed towards the NXT title, that seems to kind of be once you get the NXT title, you seem to kind of move on to the main roster.
Right. It's kind of like the rite of passage.
Yeah. So unless they're saying, hey, you know what, Aleister Black doesn't need it, he's getting up there in NXT as long he's been in there a long time. He's kind of turning into a Hideo Itami that needs to move on.
Yeah.
So I think Adam Cole.
Adam Cole. Okay. Well, the next one is Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the Undisputed Era, versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
This is gonna be good.
I'm going with my boys, the Authors of Pain. I love the Paul Ellering. Like I love the Paul Ellering. No, I love I love just how these two guys are just two big gorillas just set to destroy.
Yeah.
I just see these two guys as these massive dudes that are just going to tear the Undisputed Era apart. Now, with that being said, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, they're no two dudes to like
no slouches.
They're not slouches. Yeah. They're not chopped liver. They can go. It's obvious they can go.
Well, what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like it's going to look like... Here's my thing. Because we went to the Takeover when they came in San Antonio, right?
Yeah. It's been about a year, remember.
Right. It's been a year.
It's actually going to be exactly a year.
So I think these guys are going to move on. I think Authors of Pain move on. But I feel like this match is going to be kind of like they're probably going to drop the titles. And you're looking at Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly dropping the titles. And Authors of Pain moving on, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like the match between Authors of Pain and Johnny Gargano
and Ciampa.
Yeah. I think you're looking at that kind of match.
So you're saying the Authors of Pain win, but they still go to the main roster?
I say they drop the titles and they go to the main roster.
But
it's about that time.
They don't have the titles.
They don't?
No, the Undisputed Era have the titles.
Oh. Well, then the Authors of Pain...
They lose.
You lose. You lose. So that just shows you how much I follow NXT. But look, man, like, realistically, I don't think...
Them against the Revival, them against... Who else?
I wanted to mention something about the Revival. Bravo on them being a part of the Raw 25th anniversary. It was a good move to put them there.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think... Don't count the Revival out just yet. This isn't an Ascension type burial. I think that they serve their purpose, and what Triple H said was, and this ties perfectly with NXT because NXT is Triple H's baby. What Triple H said was DX will be in the forefront for the next 25 years. Now, with the passing of the torch, DX is in the forefront, and maybe when Triple H in the next 25 years Triple H takes over the company, his boys in the clique have jobs, so that might be another thing too to look at. But I digress. Let's move on over to the next match, which is Shayna Baszler versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's title. Now, Shayna Baszler was in the women's tournament, and she made a name in the Mae Young Classic. She made a name for herself. Now, personally, she was a finalist. Personally, I don't like it. I don't like that Shayna Baszler is
getting skyrocketed.
Yeah. She doesn't need it right now.
Well,
I think she needs a lot more work. I think her working kicks and her working punches and things like that, they need a lot of work. Now, again, I haven't seen NXT lately, so I don't know how much she may have progressed. She might have, but only time will tell. And I just want to see. I'm gonna watch Takeover just to kind of see what I can take away from this match. That was good, right?
So you're saying...
You like that one? I say Ember Moon. They need to build up Shayna Baszler a little more.
I'm actually going to say Shayna Baszler is going to win.
Really?
They are going to promote Ember Moon during the Women's Royal Rumble.
All right, bro. Let's just call it right here. Shayna Baszler, Ember Moon moves on. Okay?
I could see Shayna Baszler in the Royal Rumble because...
For the Women's Royal Rumble? I say Ember Moon goes to the Rumble.
Okay.
I say Shayna Baszler holds on to the NXT Women's title. Kairi Singh, who won the Mae Young Classic, who beat Shayna Baszler, beats Shayna Baszler again.
That's a good
and
move.
Wins the NXT title.
Strong booking.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm full of all these great ideas. I feel like I should just quit my job and go work for WWE. At least NXT.
Best of luck.
Well, Maybe they'll wish me well in my future endeavors at my...
Which they didn't even do for Enzo.
Oh. they didn't even do that, did they?
No.
That was bad. Anyway, NXT title. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. So check this out. I always have a hard time pronouncing his name. If I read it, I can definitely say his name. Yeah. I can never say Andrade Cien Almas.
This is I didn't know about this match up until about a week ago. This is going to be really good. This is going to be a really well planned out match. Johnny Gargano, who I think, unless Ciampa's coming back soon,
Johnny Wrestling, man.
he might be going to SmackDown.
You think so?
I think so. He's been in NXT for a good minute. I think it's time for him to go up there. He's, to me, somebody who, if you need to, pair him up with Ty Dillinger.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you've got a lot of avenues for a lot of these guys that go from NXT to the main roster. This is going to be a really good match. I forget her name, who his manager
valet.
is, the valet.
Yeah, but she's awesome.
She's something else, man.
Yeah.
That Hurricanrana spike that she does is vicious.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm excited to see how they utilize her in the match.
See, my thing is, I could see either one of these guys winning.
Yeah.
Cien Almas has really only held the title for about a month or two.
Yeah.
I think he still needs it. I think he still needs it for his character.
Yeah.
At least until about SummerSlam.
Well, see, I'd like to at least. I hear where you're coming from. I would like to see Johnny Gargano win it.
Yeah, that'd be
and
awesome.
Have a nice little program between them two for a good while, like a good little back and forth. I mean, Balor and Joe had one. Nakamura had one as well with Joe. If you kind of have that little back and forth, you build up a good solid little program. When Ciampa comes back, then you have a 3-way dance, and then you can start Johnny Gargano versus Ciampa. I'm on it today with this booking.
That's a good move. That's really good. I would like to see Ciampa against Gargano for the title.
That would be
hot.
See, that's a hot ticket because two former tag team champions they were tag team champions together. Former friends. That's your story.
Yeah, it writes itself.
It's pro wrestling, people.
I mean, NXT again
Yeah.
has delivered a fantastic card, and I'm looking very much forward to it. But
See,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. What I like about NXT is that they really push this sense of old school wrestling, and I know it's Triple H. They really do push this sense of old school wrestling, but what they do with it is that they modernize it. They put old school wrestling in a modern setting.
They turned it into a major league indie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, and honestly, I think by year's end, we'll be seeing them on cable television.
It has to be done.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move it on over to the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
But we'll go ahead and talk Royal Rumble after the break. But before we talk Royal Rumble, let's talk about a new segment that we're going to go ahead and dive into. It's Put Over or Bury. So we'll go ahead and come back with that a little bit after the Rumble, I guess, or before. Whatever we decide to do. You guys know how it goes.
It's our show.
Yeah, you know how it goes. And we'll be right back.
If you're interested in San Antonio's nightlife or just got out of work and want to knock a few back with some friends, check out El Luchador, located at 622 Roosevelt in Southtown. El Luchador is a wrestling-themed bar with a neighborhood bar feel. They've got a friendly staff and offer great drink specials. They also host a variety of events such as Loteria Night, Trivia Night, and live music. Be sure to add them on Facebook at Luchador Bar SA. El Luchador, located at 622 Roosevelt in Southtown.
Hey moviegoers, this is Ryan D, Akinola Ryan 680. This is Alamo City Movie Talk. Meet my crew.
I'm Mike at Polaris Mike. We do movie reviews.
Juan at Cloud X Stripe, and we do trailer reactions.
I'm Juan the Cook Crane, and we do everything movie related. And once again, you're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks, guys, from Alamo City Movie Talk. So if you're into movies, look them up. Alamo City Movie Talk. Those guys know what they're talking about. Bro, you know what I'm watching right now?
Huh.
I'm watching The Crown on Netflix.
Oh my God, dude. My wife is watching that too. She kind of got me hooked into it, but I haven't watched it fully. But from what I've seen, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on this.
Like, it's basically about the royal family, and it's awesome. Like, it just has everything. Like, it gives you the behind the scenes of what was going on in the household and stuff, and basically what the monarch like represents. It's crazy, dude. I am so into it. Like, my girlfriend got me into it, who happens to be our producer. So shout out to Jerry Ashley De Leon, who's actually modeling one of our shirts on our Instagram page. So be sure to like that. But yeah, dude, like, it's a pretty good show, and it's about royalty. So yeah.
Speaking of royalty,
we
got something coming up this Sunday
involving royalty.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
One of my favorite events the WWE ever puts on in the Big Four.
Of course.
The Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And this time, ladies and gentlemen, we get not only one, but two Royal Rumble matches. The first ever Women's Royal Rumble match that will be commentated by Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, that's right. She's going to join in on the team, right?
Yeah. We don't know who exactly is going to be on the commentary team. I'm assuming it's going to be her plus
the regulars. It has to be.
Maybe. You never know. They might throw a Lita, Trish Stratus in there if they aren't wrestling. But, we'll see. But I'm looking forward to this.
Okay. Who do you got for the Rumble, for the Women's Rumble?
Well, let me give you the card before we get into any of that.
I'm all excited. I'm all antsy for it, dude.
I'm just going to go over some real quick. First off, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Usos, who are the current champions, against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. This is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think this is going to go into the favor of Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
I'm with you on that one. Only because, like, Shelton Benjamin is a phenomenal
He's going to get such
athlete.
a huge pop in Philly.
Oh, he has to. Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, I look at it like this. Like, Shelton Benjamin, probably one of the better athletes that WWE has had on their programming. And yeah, his career was essentially cut short, but it's very awesome to see him back in the WWE.
And he can still go.
He can still go.
Yeah.
And Chad Gable, of course, which is my favorite between American Alpha.
And congratulations to Chad Gable. I read that he just is a father for the second time with his second daughter. Yeah, so congratulations,
awesome.
Chad.
Congrats, Chad Gable.
Hopefully you can take a championship belt home to your baby daughter after this Sunday.
Heck yeah, it would be awesome.
So next we have, unfortunately, what I consider the more lackluster of the two tag team championships. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, current champions of the Raw Tag Team Championships, going against The Bar.
The Bar.
Truth be told, I really don't like the pairing of Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan.
So awkward.
I understand where they're going with this to build the character of Jason Jordan. So with that being said, The Bar have to take this.
They have to. I mean,
I want The Bar. I want The Bar against the Revival at the next pay-per-view. It's not too much to ask.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is like, what they have with Jason Jordan going on is this little brother talking off the side of his mouth, and big brother Seth Rollins has to step in and save the day because Jason Jordan's talking a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I don't like the character of Jason Jordan. I don't care for it.
I feel like I've seen it before. It's almost Kurt Angle 2.0.
Who does it remind you of? Like somebody else, like that says like, oh, my uncle or my dad says this.
The Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's kind of the upper echelon, like, I get to do what I want because my dad's the GM.
My daddy's the GM. Dude, can you imagine, God rest his soul, if Roddy Piper was still around and brought him onto Piper's Pit?
Probably smack him.
Woo! That'd be such great television.
So with that being said, I think The Bar.
I'd go with The Bar.
Yeah.
Only because my bias. I'm just being biased at this point.
At this point, I think it'd be good to break up the team of Rollins and Jordan.
I don't think they break them up, though. I think they keep them together for a while to get their revenge on The Bar, get their belts back. Dean Ambrose comes back. Then you have a feud between Jason Jordan and Dean Ambrose.
I could see that.
It's.
Now, the next match, which I'm actually looking forward to, purely because of the wrestling that's going to take place.
Sure.
The WWE Championship, which is being held in SmackDown right now for anybody that can differentiate. AJ Styles, the champion, against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match.
So what are the rules on this match? I'm having a hard time. I mean, not a hard time, but if I'm thinking what it is it that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are teaming against AJ Styles?
Yeah.
And either one of them can pin them
and I think they both win. That would be awesome.
They become co-champions?
How awesome would that be? I think they need to have that happen.
That'd be hilarious.
But here's my issue.
Yeah.
Fantasy booking here.
Okay.
Let's say you let them win. great for a couple months. Maybe you have them drop it back at another smaller show.
Yeah.
But that allows, or I'm sorry, it does not allow the possible match between AJ Styles and the winner of the Royal Rumble, who I'm hoping may be a Shinsuke Nakamura if they're deciding to go that route.
Yeah.
You take that almost immediately away from the fans' mind.
Right. Man, to be honest, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, it's no Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho.
This could be the way to break up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as
I think
the
that's
friends.
what they might do. I mean, I think that's what they might do. And they might run a program with Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the title and, leave AJ alone for a little while.
Have another program
with AJ. I don't know what you would do with AJ Styles after that. I mean, AJ would have to hold the belt.
Yeah.
He would have to.
Yeah, because you look at a month.
He's the greatest wrestler. He's the greatest. He's one of the greatest wrestlers that you have on your roster,
especially on SmackDown.
Yeah. Why would you have him drop the title only to have him on a lower card match at Mania?
Yeah. Yeah. It's something, that I hope AJ walks away with this. And that's my pick. Yeah. I would like to see AJ hold it until WrestleMania. I don't think he's getting the main event at WrestleMania. No. That's held for somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be the end of the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, or Cammy, as AJ Styles likes to call them.
Yeah. I'm going AJ Styles.
All right. Looks like we're in agreement, and I hope that it does happen. Next is for the Universal Championship. Triple threat match between Brock Lesnar, current champion, Braun Strowman, and Kane. Here's the thing. I think Brock retains.
Okay.
Braun moves on to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
Basically what they're doing is flipping the contenders of the Intercontinental Championship, where it's like Reigns is going to go after Brock, which everybody's known for about a year.
Yeah.
And then you have Braun Strowman against Miz at WrestleMania for the IC title.
I'm looking at the swerve, brother. I'm looking at the swerve.
You think Kane's going to take it?
I think it's either going to be Kane or Braun that wins the title. And I'll tell you why. I think Kane wins it, holds on to it for a little while, loses it. They got to give him at least one more run. I think this is Kane's last hurrah. Either he wins it or he just loses, puts on a good showing at the Rumble, and then goes into the Hall of Fame. That's a possibility.
That's a definite possibility.
You also have Braun, who could win, and you could potentially have Braun against your winner of the Royal Rumble. Or you could have Braun basically, and this was my thought when The Undertaker came out on the Raw 25th, you have Braun versus The Undertaker and pass the torch, because Braun's the new monster. Braun is the new age Taker, whether we'd like to admit it or not. A lot of people said it was Bray Wyatt because of the spookiness, the ambiance, and all that stuff. But when you look at it at the end of the day, Braun is not the new Big Show. Braun is the new Undertaker, and he's going to destroy everything in his path. That would probably be a good fit for him for Mania. If Brock retains, we know what's happening at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I hope that they do a swerve somewhere down the line, even if it's in the main Royal Rumble match. I hope they do something that's going to excite fans and want to get them behind WrestleMania.
That'd be great. So my pick, unfortunately, well, I guess it depends on how you look at it down the road. Brock.
I'm going to go Braun. I'm just going to go Braun.
Okay.
I hope it happens, but...
I mean, I hope so too. He'd be a great champion maybe down the road.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Next is the first of two Royal Rumble main events.
Yes.
This is the ladies' main event of the ladies' first ever Royal Rumble. They already have 18 entrants in. They still have to fill 12 spots. That's a big ask.
Let's start with this. Who do you think fills in those spots? And let's not name 12 people, but let's just throw some names out there.
I'm going to say at least half of that's going to be NXT. Probably some girls from the Mae Young Classic. One I don't think you're going to see, though, is Ronda Rousey.
Oh, yeah.
Or you might. here's the thing.
Okay.
TMZ actually asked her, hey, so we hear that you're going to be able to throw out a lot of people at the Royal Rumble. From what I understand, she responded in kind that she's actually going to be in Colombia filming a movie.
Oh, really?
And won't be in Philadelphia that day. Look,
yeah.
Constant flip of the media. Red herring. Tell them, I'm going to be in Colombia. Meanwhile, having that lunch or the dinner with Triple H, you could have set this up a month ago.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
TMZ or
if anyone asks,
yeah, this
you're
is
not
where you're
going
to
to be here. Yep.
How are we gonna get everybody to think you're going to be someplace else?
We'll see. I mean, only time will tell.
Now, I will say, if Ronda Rousey does show up, she does not win.
Yeah.
She shows up, creates a ruckus. She comes in at number 30. I don't even think she gets eliminated. I think
she throws herself out.
Or if she does get eliminated, she gets eliminated by Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, that's a good, because of that
the WrestleMania about 2 years ago.
Right. Well, it'd be interesting.
So with that being said, my choice for the Women's Royal Rumble is Charlotte.
Is Charlotte in the match?
I want to say she is. I would hope she is.
I thought the champions weren't in the match.
If she's not, then truth be told,
you're like, I don't think there's anyone else that I would. I'm picking Asuka.
You know what? Yeah, she doesn't look like she's on here. So, yeah, Asuka.
I'm picking Asuka.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's, I don't want to see Sasha Banks against Alexa Bliss or Charlotte again.
Man, what a waste of the women's champions. Not even on this card.
Aren't they wrestling each other at the Royal Rumble?
Not that I see on here.
Oh, interesting.
Unless this is an incomplete thing I'm looking at, but as far as I see, no, they're not wrestling each other.
Interesting.
Well, with that being said, I say Asuka's going over on this.
You say Asuka?
Yeah.
I'm going Asuka as well. I think who we're gonna some speculation as to who we're gonna see. The Bellas, of course.
Yeah. I do not think Trish is going to wrestle though.
You don't think so?
No.
She looked great at the 25th.
She did, but how much wrestling has she done?
Well, I mean, she does stay in shape. She might be in ring shape.
Maybe.
She might be getting into ring shape. I'm going to say Trish shows up. I'm also going to say maybe Kelly shows. Maybe Kelly's involved. Maybe Tori Wilson, who also looked great. I mean, they all looked great. I don't know if Tori Wilson's in ring shape, but maybe Alundra Blaze. You never know. It could bring back some blasts from the past. Can't bring back Mae Young or Fabulous Moolah.
I just really hope this lives up to the hype that the company wants it to. This can fall flat really quick. If
it could be like one of those battle royals that they used to have on SmackDown or Raw.
They just blow the spots.
Yeah.
This is gonna. With that being said, we both think Asuka's gonna go over.
Yep.
The last match is obviously
the Royal Rumble,
the men's Royal Rumble. This is where it's going to get interesting. You have an arena where 2 years ago you allowed Roman Reigns to win and tried to get The Rock to take some heat off of him, which did not work whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One of two things is going to happen. Roman Reigns is going to win and they burn that house down, or Roman Reigns is going to win and all hell breaks loose regardless.
Yeah.
Basically, there's only one outcome. Roman Reigns is going to win this.
Okay.
I think Vince McMahon is, I don't want to say arrogant because that's not the right word. I think he's so strong-headed and looks at his vision of where he wants his company to go, not allow the fans to dictate where the company's going to go.
Right.
He sees him as his next golden boy, and I think that he could very well allow Roman Reigns to make the win again. Now, a name that I don't think you're going to be seeing, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit. Who do you think?
Oh, look at you leaving cliffhangers for everybody. So I'm agreeing with you that Roman Reigns is potentially the realistic winner. I could argue Cena. I could also argue Nakamura, even though they haven't really pushed him properly, utilized him as well as they should. Man, I hate to say Roman Reigns, and so I'm not going to say Roman Reigns for the fact that I don't want to. going down the list in my mind, there really isn't anyone that I could see doing it, winning, unless for some weird chance that after the match with AJ Styles, that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn enter the Rumble.
Dude, get out of my brain. I just thought the same thing.
And Kevin Owens wins the Royal Rumble.
Or what I'm thinking, completely different. Well,
Sure.
The same as far as them being the Royal Rumble, but Sami Zayn causing Kevin Owens to get thrown out.
I mean, it could go because they would have lost against AJ Styles.
That's what I'm saying. They just further push the
that's
division.
a perfect story. Yeah. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, break them up again.
You never know. You know, with these things, it's always up. It's up in the air, which will lead us to another thing that's up in the air, which is we're going to talk about our segment here, put over or bury. The speculation that a lot of people in the Vegas odds, what you were telling me the other day, 5-1 say.
Yeah, last I heard was a 5-1.
And it's still 5-1 from what I read last night. Daniel Bryan makes a surprise entrance at the Royal Rumble. I'm getting goosebumps by saying this.
Here's the thing. It's not even an entrance. It's him winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
It's a 5-1.
Winning 5-1. What do you think about that? And you know what? I'm gonna stop here and time out here. I'm gonna say the put over or bury. Normally, this is what we did the last show. We had a segment. It was 20 seconds to speak your mind. This is so huge. I think it deserves more than 20 seconds. So I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm kidding. But I want to get your thoughts on this 5-1 ratio that Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble.
Daniel Bryan not only does not win the Royal Rumble, he's not in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
From what I heard, Vince is very dead set on him never wrestling again. Wow. I think from a legal standpoint, you can't allow somebody who has potential neck issues to get back in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
He's been cleared umpteen times by independent doctors, X, Y, and Z. We've all read the report that he's been cleared for some time. But I still think that a businessman needs to look at his business.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon is the penultimate businessman.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to allow one wrestler mess anything up for him.
No.
So with that being said, I don't think Daniel Bryan wins or shows up in the actual match itself. With that being said,
okay,
I don't necessarily think he won't have some type of influence in the Royal Rumble. There's a way to please a lot of people with this.
Sure.
You can cause The Miz to get eliminated by Daniel Bryan.
That's what I was thinking too.
You can have Daniel Bryan be a factor in any non-physical sort of way.
Right.
Does he let AJ? Oh, I'm sorry, not AJ. He's not going to be in there. Does he show up? Maybe, but not in the ring. So with that being said, I bury that.
You're going to bury it.
I bury
it. I want to put it over. I'll tell you why. I understand Vince McMahon's point of view and your point of view as far as the business aspect of it. You're absolutely right that Vince McMahon will not let the crowd dictate what happens on his show, on his programming, on his dime. So it sounds like I'm going to bury all this, right? I'm going to say that I'm going to put this over in the sense that there's a lot of things in the WWE that we don't know about. Now, just for everyone to know, this is everything that we say on this podcast. It's a fan's perspective speculation.
It's basically you're sitting in your friend's living room,
and we're talking wrestling till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? So what I think about putting this idea over is that Vince, if we know anything from Vince McMahon, he loves the swerve. Now, could it be that Daniel Bryan enters? Not likely. But someone is going to make a surprise appearance. And they always do this at every Royal Rumble. Now, Daniel Bryan could potentially walk to the ring as if he is going to enter. He might enter, get a few things in, and then just exit the arena and beat up The Miz. There's a number of things that could happen. But I want to put this over just because I feel like WWE does not want to lose Daniel Bryan. If Daniel Bryan does not show up at the Rumble, he's going to show up at WrestleMania. If he doesn't show up at WrestleMania to wrestle, I don't think we're going to see Daniel Bryan in the WWE ever again.
Yeah, we have to figure out when his contract is expired, because I think the week after you might see him in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, you never know at this point. But I want to put this over. I want to say that Daniel Bryan may enter maybe number 27 and wins the Rumble. I'm going to say that.
All right.
I could also say that The Miz might win. Now, I want to just throw something out there too before we even start. We're about to wrap this up anyway. But I was on Instagram and I saw Katie Forbes's story on Instagram, and it showed one Rob Van Dam looking damn good in ring shape, and you might see Rob Van Dam into the Rumble.
Yeah, he's been a
surprise entrant before,
and it's Philly.
It's
ECW
Philly.
crowd.
I mean, you might see some ECW guys, and if anyone,
Tommy Dreamer, if anyone, it's got to be Dreamer or Rob Van Dam, because they're probably Rob Van Dam's probably the one that was the most marketable out of ECW. So might as well, why not? That'd be interesting.
So speculation aside, it's going to be a great Rumble. I'm excited for it, but I just want to go ahead and just reach out, because my hand is touching your hand out there. So just so you guys know, January 26th, we have our event, Wrestle Trivia. Come on out to El Luchador. We've got some great vendors that are going to be out there. We've got some awesome food that's going to be out there served as well. Great drink specials. Our pals at Freetail Brewery are going to be out there sampling their newest flavors. Come test your knowledge with us. Get ready for the beatdown. And
mental beatdown.
Mental beatdown.
I'm not touching anyone.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want
Don't
anyone.
make us do it.
Don't touch my tail. You might get it dirty.
Don't test us.
But yeah, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have a lot of good times out there. Test your wrestling knowledge with us. It's Wrestle Trivia. We're gonna cover everything from WWE, Ring of Honor, maybe WCW. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna try to do our best to do everything involving professional wrestling. This is the first of hopefully many Wrestle Trivias. We would love to see you guys out there. If you're in the San Antonio area, it's at El Luchador, 622 Roosevelt Street. So come on out, test your knowledge with us, and just have a good time and hang out with some fellow wrestling fans. But I don't think there's anything else left to say. But
We